Hey folks, how's it going? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at the latest Superior Spider-Man action figure from Hasbro Marvel Legends. This is a really interesting and cool character. This is the first time that I'm adding a Superior Spider-Man to the collection. I never picked up the first Superior Spider-Man figure from Hasbro that was on the Pizza Spidey mold, but this time around it looks like they have done a fantastic job of this character. So let's just jump right into it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this figure down in the comment section below. And let's take a closer look at the packaging here. This is one of the 85 years anniversary boxes, and it looks really nice, this kind of new modern box style for their figures. We've got Marvel Legends series up in the top left, Superior Spider-Man down the side here, warning, display of the figure, Marvel. On this side of the packaging we get this really cool comic image here, and on the back we get the same image but blown up more. And there's no write-up or anything here, but I do like the image that they've used. Side of the box here. Let's get this figure out of the packaging. So first of all, taking a closer look at what our new Superior Spider-Man comes with, we get 4 Waldos, and they are all articulated. They're really nicely sculpted. They've all got this kind of shiny, glossy red paint to them. I like the way it comes to the point at the end here, and you can see that there are these points of articulation on them, so you can pose them around. They do move. I haven't posed around these Waldos just yet. I did pose this figure around last night. But Waldos aren't quite my vibe when it comes to Spidey, but I'm glad that we do get them here, and of course they are an interchangeable option, so we can take a closer look at these later on and how they work with the figure. We get this back piece which the Waldos pour into, and then this goes on to the back of the figure, and I think this looks really good as well. Of course, if you're like me and the Waldos aren't quite your vibe, then we get this other one as well. This works just the same as the last, but it doesn't have those ports for the Waldos to come in, so you can keep this on the back of the figure, and it's like the Waldos are retracted in the way. We get 3 pairs of interchangeable hands, starting with the webbed weapon hands, which look really nice. Good sculpt, good paint. I've not read a lot of Superior Spider-Man comics, but something I have seen over the years on like cover art and whatnot are these long spiky fingers on Superior Spider-Man, and we get these unique looking sort of grabby, crawling, spiked hands here, and again I think they look really good. On the figure we have those clobbering time fisted hands, and we can check them out later on, but first of all we get this interchangeable head. And honestly, I think this might be my favourite Spider-Man head sculpt of all time. This is definitely my favourite part of the figure, and ultimately was why I wanted to pick this figure up. This head sculpt is absolutely incredible for a couple of different reasons. The number one reason I love this head sculpt so much is that jagged, crazy erratic web design with a lot, and probably every other Spider-Man figure that I own. The web lines on the mask are symmetrical, they're uniform, they're straightforward. This is just a breath of fresh air when it comes to Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures. Getting this crazy web design is something pretty unique, and I think it looks really cool. I think they've done a really good job here. It's got a very comic style to it, it works incredibly well. I just love it. Inconsistent web lines, looking a bit messy. Again, it's something different from a lot of these Spider-Man figures that we've been looking at recently. And then the cherry on top on this one are those lenses. They look so cool. I think it's such a good idea, and Marvel Legends have executed it perfectly. We can see that cityscape in the background, painted to perfection here, and it works really well in the photos that I've taken so far. I'm still going to pose this figure around, take some more photos, but that initial playing around with this guy, those lenses stand out, and again, probably my favourite Spider-Man head sculpt of all time. Definitely going to have to do some head swaps with this and see what other sort of Spidey figures it works with. And then that leaves us the figure itself. So we'll start with the head sculpt on this figure at the moment. We can see that the lenses on this one are a slightly different shape, and I do really like that we are getting some different options with this Spidey figure. These ones are definitely more rounded around the sides, and of course we get the white lenses on this one, so a more sort of classic look. And again, we get this erratic web line and it looks incredible. Again, I just love both of these for how unique and individual they are, especially when you are comparing it to a lot of the Spidey Marvel Legends we've been getting over the last 2 or 3 years. So this is a massive win for me. I think this looks absolutely great. And then the rest of the body here, as far as I know and from what I've seen, that this is a new body mold and it looks terrific. For me, it's going to be very similar in the way I described the new animated VHS 2-pack Spidey. The body mold looks absolutely brilliant. That muscle definition on this looks incredible. I think it works really well for Spidey. But we are getting that old articulation system with the waist swivel. When we get newer Spideys with the Renew Your Vows mode and the AF-15, we know that there are much better movement mechanics for Spidey on these Marvel Legends figures, so it is a bit of a double-edged sword in my eyes. Yeah, this is an incredible looking sculpt, but the range of movement just doesn't feel as nice as those more recent Spidey figures that we've gotten. But looking at what we do have and not what we don't, I think this looks incredible. I've seen a lot of folk talking about the shoulders on Spidey figures, and it's never been something that I've necessarily noticed before until people started pointing it out a lot. There are a lot of Spidey Marvel Legends and other characters from Marvel Legends where the shoulders sit quite low. They're maybe not as proportionate as they should be. Again, it's not really something that I notice a lot, but with this guy, the shoulders look really prominent, well rounded. They sit at a really nice height here, and it is something that you notice when you compare this mold to other Spidey molds out there. I don't really know how bad it is on the Renew Your Vows, but I do think this looks really good here on this mold. We get the butterfly joints in here, and again we're seeing that crazy web design all over this. Really messy, but still really works for Spidey, and it looks awesome just running throughout the suit here. Of course, we do have the port at the back where we can put his backpack on. I'll put the retracted Waldos version in at the moment. I think this figure works without a backpack ported on there, and of course it looks just as good when we do put one into that port there as well. On the front we get this crazy ab section. He does have a really good ab crunch, as you can see, as you would hope, especially when they're using this older system of articulation. The figure is pinless as well, and we do get these gauntlets on the arm, and I think they look really good. You've got the red dot there, nice silver, and you can see how it flows round to the rest of the arm. Clobbering Time fisted hands. You get the spider logo in the front. And that's really about it. When it gets to the it's weird. It's like Marvel Legends at the moment just pick and choose what they're going to include on their Spidey figures, and it's so random. It's like we get this older range of movement system, but we do get articulated toes, and then it's like we get the AF-15 with the more improved articulation in the chest area, the ab crunch, and we don't get articulated toes. It is really random, I think, but on this figure we do get the toe articulation, and it also has drop down hips, as we can see there. So yeah, overall I think this is a really, really great looking Spider-Man, but I think shared feelings with a lot of other people. I wish it had that same range of movement as the AF-15 or Renew Your Vows Spidey. Porting the Waldos onto this guy, I think it looks pretty epic. Again, I like how this is an interchangeable option. The more kind of tech Spidey isn't really my bag at all. I do prefer a more simple, down-to-earth Spider-Man without all that tech side. Not a fan of like the Iron Spider suit at all. And so these Waldos really don't appeal to me, but I think it is a great interchangeable option that of course really takes this figure to another level. The Waldos themselves are really nice and they're well articulated, but at the same time it does mean that you are going to have to kind of spend some time to get these Waldos looking symmetrical, making sure each section is going to be the same so they don't look too wonky. And this is the best I've got while I'm filming this video. Again, I will pose these round later on for a couple of photos, and I think overall, again, it adds to the figure, looks really good, but it's just not really my thing. Comparing our new Superior Spider-Man to some other Marvel Legends Spideys, we've got the Renew Your Vows on the left and the AF-15 on the right. And as much as I do love this new sculpt and actually think it maybe looks better than both of these, I don't know, Renew Your Vows is pretty spot on for a classic Spider-Man. AF-15's, I love the range of movement on it. I do think the sculpt of this one in the middle looks better than the AF-15. But I would always hesitate to pick this up and pose it around, knowing how much better the range of movement is on both of these sculpts either side of them. I think the fun factor of both of these is just through the roof when it comes to posing, and it doesn't quite hit the same with this older waist swivel range of movement system that we have on this new Superior Spider-Man, despite him looking incredible. And here he is next to our new VHS 2-pack Spider-Man and the retro-carded Peter Parker. We can see he is standing a wee bit shorter. I do feel like the proportions are maybe a wee bit smaller, but he does have that awesome muscle sculpt. And then standing him next to a couple of Marvel Legends Spidey villains, we've got the new retro-carded Venom on the left and the retro-carded Sandman on the right. And this does reinforce that it is a wee bit of a shorter, smaller Spidey. We can see both of these guys are standing quite a bit taller than our new Spidey in the middle. And so there we have it for our new Marvel Legends Superior Spider-Man action figure. And this is a great Spidey. I think for the price point this is well worth picking up just for how unique and individual it is. It looks incredible. Again, those head sculpts are some of my favourite Spider-Man head sculpts of all time. It is a lot of fun to play around with, but granted, it isn't as fun as the Renew Your Vows or the AF-15, but I do think he holds his own just for how unique this Spidey figure looks, and again, I do think that makes it worthwhile picking up. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're down there guys, if you could do me a massive favour and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, then please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below, where I'll definitely be posting a lot of pictures of this Spidey up over there, and it'd mean a lot if you could check it out. It means a lot that you've watched this video right here guys, so thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to hop on over to the channel page, check out any of my other videos, but until next time guys, I'll catch yous on the flip flop later. Cheers.